Excuse me.
What are you getting? Fan page? I'll do the disc golf fans match page.
Okay. I'll post it on mine as my own personal one also. Mm-hmm. For thousands of viewers. Thousands on thousands. Oh, hey, so dude.
Oh, so dude.
Dude, sick vest, by the way, bro.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
This is one of my favorite ones.
Thanks for tuning in. 78 of you hanging out in here. Thank you.
Jamming to some music. We're going to set things up real quick. Make
Ryan.
Sure. What happened?
Ryan said first tournament of the year on Sunday was in 4+ inches of snow and 20 degrees.
Whoa.
No, man. No. Whew. That's, you're a braver man than me, Ryan. I know that's not saying much.
So I thought someone posted that ratings are out now.
Yeah. We there was a ratings update today.
Okay, we'll have to talk about that because we got the old 850 challenge happening.
Right. Obviously, yours won't be affected.
Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah. Because you didn't play any events.
Oh, that's true.
So obviously it won't be
Obviously. So obviously you have a point.
Bro, 60s at winter warm-up this last weekend?
Whoa.
Come on, where is that here?
I know, man.
That's
That'd be
awesome.
nice.
I heard Emerson Keith took that one down. Turns out he's pretty good. Don't know if you guys have heard about that. Steven, hello. It's going great. How about
Anthony,
yourself?
have you talked to Steve-O yet about the weekend you guys are going down? Everything's good to go still? Nice. Miles will be there. So I'm talking to Anthony. He and Danny are driving down to go capture the Cedar Hill Chill in Cedar Rapids. No, I'm playing.
Cedar Rapids, Michigan.
In
Cedar-
it's basically Cedar Hill, Texas. That's what I thought. That's why they call it the Cedar Hill Chill. At the famous down in Texas, the course is the Coyote and the Beaver.
Beaver and Coyote.
And so that should be make for some good.
I'm really sad I can't make it this year.
Are you?
Yep. I won it last year.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about you not going back and defending it.
Yeah, I want to, but honestly, by the time I thought, hey, that'd be cool to go, it was already full.
Yeah. All right, so we're good here. I'm going to bring up the question form. That doesn't need to be going. This is another favorite of mine. This is my chill hop myth. If you watch any of our disc golf adventure videos or casual rounds, you'll recognize this music.
Wildburn said, predicting a wind chill of minus 50 here tomorrow.
Where, here?
Not here,
Oh.
but wherever he is.
Well, Jason Wilder
No,
out of
dude.
Minnesota, they canceled school for 2 days because they were predicting negative 55 wind chill.
Dude, no. Like when we moved here from Texas, our cold days were in the like low 30s, high 20s is like the coldest it would ever get, ever, right? At least in the part of Texas that we lived in. And we moved up here, and I walked outside one morning and it was like negative 13. And then I walked out for lunch and it was 3. And I thought to myself, oh, it's warmed up outside.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew things were never going to be the same for me. But that's not even close to negative 55, bro.
That is
Come on.
nasty. Where are my? Oh, I got
Marty says, "Hey Robert, I have the biggest smile." I don't know. Do I have the biggest smile? And it said Eric McCabe, Mr. Serious. He's so serious, dude.
Why so serious? Isn't that from Batman?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute.
He said they're in Upper Wisconsin.
So you guys are obviously on YouTube. Obviously, did you guys hear about YouTube TV now being everywhere? It used to only be in 100 of the biggest cities. Now it's in over 95% of households across the U.S. I tried it last night, and I really like YouTube TV over PlayStation View.
Nice. Alan,
Matthew wants to do the page wave. Ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Alan, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make the Wild Hair this year. I would really like to. I love getting back to Abilene and getting to see friends there, but just got to see if it works out with the schedule.
Do more in Denver. We have a Torchies. That is definitely an incentive to go to Denver.
We
actually will be.
Definitely be at the Torchies in Denver.
When?
For the disc golf experience.
How are we going to do that, though? We're going to have to get an Uber. Me and you are going to have to Uber.
Yeah.
Friday night.
Yeah, you're sponsoring it because you still owe me Torchies. Hello.
If we don't go to Tulsa by then, I will sponsor the Torchies
Darn
that night.
straight.
For you only.
Darn straight.
And we'll go get some Torchies.
Yeah,
I had the opportunity to get some Torchies this weekend, and I'm opting out to get sushi.
Okay, first of all, that's a huge mistake.
But this, you've never been to I'm going to take you and Shay to Yokozuna
Where is it at?
in Tulsa. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I would want to take you guys. Do you?
Yeah.
Do you guys like
She's
sushi?
okay on sushi. I really like sushi.
But this is like fancy sushi. This isn't like just this is like
Dude, the type of sushi I like is just fish. Give me the fish.
well, they have that.
I don't need all the extra stuff.
Oh, but the one I like is called the hot mess, and they take it and it's like a tempura where it's lightly battered,
Right.
and then they put some kind of chipotle cream cheese
Yeah, okay.
mixture on top, and then they put a little chip, and then they put some balsamic reduction on top.
Okay, I'm tracking.
I'm telling you.
It sounds really good.
I'm telling you. I wanted to go kick the sushi chef because it tasted so good.
Crazy Disc Golf and Gaming, you're in luck. Hold on. If you're still in the chat, hold on just a second.
Oh, is that good? What our product use?
Okay, Crazy Disc Golf. Casual Hair Clay. It's from, yeah, here you go, Danny. Yeah, zoom in on that thing right there. Casual Hair Clay. It's from Which way do I need to turn it? There we go. It's from Dollar Shave Club. It's the best hair product I've ever used. It's like $10 for one of these. They usually last me a month and a half, maybe a little bit longer. Check it out. You need it. There you go.
Yeah,
I keep that around just for moments like this.
Sashimi is sashimi.
Sashimi.
Sashimi is sushi without all the extra stuff.
Yeah, I get down on sashimi. However, it's very expensive.
They have it there because my friend Jeremy Taylor gets it all the time when we go. All right, we about ready to record this thing?
I think so. $10 Shave
I
Club.
just want to hear one more song. Which one is it? I can't remember. Is it this one?
Yelta here says, Bobby, you look slimmer with every episode.
Nice.
Bam.
Thank you.
Dude, yeah, Bobby's been killing it at the gym. I see him there
Telling you.
every morning.
Oh, and that's our plug for Disc Golf Strong. He just released his Disc Golf Strong app.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can find it on the iTunes store, and I can't remember if it's on Google Play as well, but go to discgolfstrong.com/inner circle and find out the program he has going on, where he has some really good programs for you to get ready for the disc golf season. Because gone are the days where you think you can just go play, and succeed. You've got to take care of your health. You've got to take care of yourself. You've got to take care of your physical conditioning and your strength.
Yep.
If you want to compete at a high level, and he is there to help. And he's been giving me workouts to do and been really helping me. So thank you, Seth Muncie.
Caleb asked if that hair stuff works for beards, too. Well, yeah, I mean, it definitely holds your beard in place.
I meant to ask you.
I don't think I really need that.
Bobby, do you drink beer? I have drink beer. I haven't had beer since
Hey, Luke
December 17th, our Christmas party, where I
Is that
drank.
right? I didn't know that was your last one.
Yeah, I had a lot. Not beer. I had a lot of drinks.
Yeah, you had a few extra.
And
One or two.
And I haven't had it because big part of the reason is because it's a lot of empty calories. So I'm trying to kind of stay away from that. Kind of like Coke. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, what?
First of all, chill, okay? I'm working hard so that I can drink the Coke and maintain the same body type that I have.
All right. We're probably boring these people with all our...
Dude, Eddie Harris, I like this team application. He said, I have gotten 2 hole-in-one last year with the same Frisbee. Can I get sponsored? Yes. Yes, you can.
All right, let me turn off the
That's actually
music.
better than some of the applications that I've gotten before.
All right, there we go. Music is gone. We're going to record the show. Let me turn on the field recorder.
Yeah,
Spelling.
Dahlberg, Muncie is Munsie.
A physiotherapist, personal trainer, conditioner coach. Do you not?
Do you know?
Oh.
Yeah.
thought
Yeah. But
I don't know his credentials. I do know that he used to. Who did he train?
He worked with. Was it with Anaheim? It was with an NHL team.
Right.
That he trained for. And
he had
he's
his own
been-
gym for a while.
Yep. Yeah. So he knows what he's talking about. I don't know. As far as his official credentials go, but I know that he's had some pretty legit jobs in that field.
I do know one time when he first started helping people
No,
out.
it's not. It's Munsey, isn't it? Yeah.
Right.
Munsey. Sorry.
Here it is. Anyway, before I do that, I remember one time he had posted something somewhere on PDJ.com or PDJ Facebook, and someone was like, don't listen to this guy. There's all kinds of people out there just spouting information. They don't know what to talk about. And he was like, yeah, you're right. Seth replied, he said, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of information out there, so make sure you check your sources. And just to help you qualify, he listed off this whole entire accolade of everything that he's earned and done and everything. And it's like,
he's doing some stuff.
according to his website, he's a former U.S. Central Coast Guard Reserve firefighter, summa cum laude from California State University, Fullerton, with a Bachelor's of Science degree in kinesiology, exercise science, and a focus on strength and conditioning.
He knows the stuff.
So he's got some education.
Yeah.
All right, now let's get to some disc golf.
Yeah, let's.
I feel like there need to be some like music. Let's get to some disc golf. No,
That's some really good disc
like
golf
that?
music.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. Well, first let's just start the podcast.
you might start to see some wrinkles. I already got wrinkles going on there, Solo. Alrighty then. All right, here we go. All right, we're going to start the podcast. So, YouTube guys, you know the drill if you watched before. We're going to answer some questions that's already been submitted into the discgolfanswerman.com. So, if you got questions, get those submitted and we'll get to them. Right now, we're sitting at 76 Google questions or Google form questions, and wow, about 10 to 12 speak pipe questions. So, it's going to be a while before we get to your questions, but get your questions in there. Yes, Jonathan, this is a disc golf podcast. We are about to get to the disc golf part. You tuned in just in time.
I hit him with it. I said we're trying out a new disc golf format where we talk about disc golf.
Yeah, we're gonna try a new format.
We're gonna give it a shot. We'll see what happens.
So we won't really necessarily answer the YouTube questions, but once we're done with the audio portion of the podcast, then we'll get back to YouTube for the questions. But we do like to interact with you guys every now and then.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm telling you right now, we're going through some Google form questions today.
We are?
We're gonna bomb them.
All right, we're in.
How many we got? 76. We're getting to 50.
Oh.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck. Here we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze. And I have with me Robert Negative 55 McCall.
It's like a roller coaster.
Cool Daddy Slick Breeze. So Negative 5 McCall, we have a team member, Jason Wilder, out of Minnesota. I saw he posted something on Facebook that said the school his daughter goes to closed for 2 days because they're predicting negative 55 wind chill.
And they never
Would
close.
you play disc golf in negative 55 wind chill?
No. Let's just call that a no. I don't like to play in below freezing, period. Unfortunately, we live in Kansas. So
I got to agree with you. I would not be out there. So we are here for another week. Eric McCabe is out on assignment. Last time he didn't say where he was at, so I will not say because, sometimes he doesn't know how things are going to work out when he's out doing
He
course
is not
design.
an Emporia.
He is definitely not
We
an
can tell you
Emporia.
that.
He's out doing some course design stuff. If you want him in your area, course sales at dynamitedisc.com. I'm telling you, Eric McCabe, world champion, get you some really nice courses set up out there where you live, and he would love to work with you for sure.
For sure.
So I did not play any disc golf this past weekend. I just was not feeling it, but I know that we had our first tag match out here in Emporia. How did that go, Robert?
I played really bad, but it was fun to get out and play.
Okay.
I haven't played disc golf in maybe 3.5 weeks or so I was extremely rusty. But yeah, we got out and threw some frisbees and had a good time. Temp beat me, so did Kevin.
Wow,
They hurt my feelings. We were playing on the same card. They didn't talk that much trash, which was really nice of them. They could tell I was struggling. I also had I hit a tree on the right side of a fairway and it kicked all the way left out of bounds.
Yeah.
And then on hole 7 at Jones East, I hit the flagpole on my drive and still found the parking lot out of bounds. Don't know how that works, but it happened. There was great sadness, but whatever. I'm not still bitter about it or anything, but I'm also a little salty about it still. Yeah.
I got you. Yeah. Well, I will definitely play at the next tag match because we are
trying to raise that rating,
850 challenge, and the PDGA did just put out a ratings update. Now, of course, my rating will not be updated or nothing will happen to my rating because I have not played any events since the last time moved. So same for you.
Yep.
So we're
1004.
1004. That's right.
Highest ever for me. Miles Seaborn, I said that on the show, whenever it updated last time, and Miles Seaborn texted me and was like, 1004, highest ever? That's cute. Because, he's in like the 1020s. Jerk.
Such humility from Miles Seaborn.
Butthead. He's such a nice guy, but he likes to needle me. So
in fact, we're going to be out there, or not me, but Anthony and Danny are going to be out at Cedar Hill, Texas to do some in the bags, and Miles Seaborn is one of the first ones we're going to try to get done for you guys because I know you guys love those in the bags.
Miles is good, dude.
Yeah,
he's really good.
Yeah, he's definitely a good golfer for sure. But how we're going to do the 850 challenge, we mentioned it, where we're going to challenge ourselves to improve our ratings. And so what I'm going to do is after this show, I'm going to post a link to the ratings update. I'm going to have people on the Facebook group page. You're going to put your rating in as of that rating update because it's the first one of 2019, right? That's the first rating update.
This doesn't include any 2019 ratings, to my understanding. I think it's catching up on 18 ratings.
Okay, so this will give us a good baseline to start, though, right?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So if you want to be part of this challenge, and I don't know why I'm looking at the base of the tripod and not the actual camera.
You're going to want to look at this.
Correct. It's because this will be the baseline for where we're starting out, and my goal is to hit 850. I'm at 806 or 807, right? And I'm in
807 is right.
I'm in a challenge with Anthony. He's trying to get to 950, and I believe he's at 906 or 907, somewhere around there. 908. I'm sorry. He's at 908.
Don't undersell him.
I know. I'm sorry. And we're gonna see. We're kind of in a race to see who can get to that goal the fastest. But if you have a goal, in the comments, put what you're rated, and then put what you want to be rated. And we're gonna follow this all along on Facebook. And we're gonna have some fun with it throughout the year as we make sure we check to see if we can improve because we always want to be a better version of ourselves, better than we were yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And that includes disc golf.
Yeah. That's part of the reason that when we first started the 1,000 rated bet, we knew it'd be fun to talk about on the show and keep up with.
Make fun of you.
Well, yeah, and we did for a long time until I arose victorious from the ashes. Anyway, but it's because I think that's why a lot of people like ratings is you always want to improve. You always want to be a better version of yourself. So I like that. It's fun.
Yep, absolutely. All right, well, that's enough catching up. Let's go ahead and get to some disc golf questions, guys. Remember, you can go to discgolfanswerman.com, submit your disc golf question. I will warn you, I've always warned you, it's even printed on the form, that do not ask any time-sensitive questions because we have a lot of questions, and we may not get to yours very quickly. And I am, for 2019, I am going to be a little more strict. If your question is something that is more of just a complaint or doesn't really have a disc golf question at its core, I guess, we may just go ahead and pass over it. I will tell you that warning right now. But let's see if we can find some good ones here in what we have now. This one is from Joe. Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man crew. After seeing all what Dynamic Discs does to grow the sport and who Dynamic Disc is as a company, I've decided to switch to an all Trilogy bag.
Nice. Thanks, man.
Thank you. My question is, which Trilogy disc or discs make for the best replacement for the Destroyer in a Trilogy bag? I can throw a beat-in Pro Destroyer 350 feet on a flat throw and get a little turn out of it, and an overstable Star Destroyer 300 feet flat with a hard fade. Any other drivers that y'all would recommend? Thanks for what y'all do.
Nice. Good question. You said that was from Joe?
Joe.
All right, Joe. So
What do you know, Joe?
up until this point, we've had a lot of different answers to this question. Because the Destroyer is a mold that has a lot of variation in the runs, right? You know, there's some that are very, very overstable, some that are medium straight, some that are a little understable out of the box, and that comes with wear on the disc as well. So we've said, you know, a Trespass can be like a Destroyer, some of your worked-in Destroyers, or a Bio-Enforcer could be like a pretty new straight Destroyer, or a Fusion Defender might be like an overstable one or something like that. We are currently working on and are supposed to get some prototypes of our newest distance driver. It's called the Raider.
The Raider.
Dun, dun, dun.
The Raider. That's how we're gonna do the marketing. Just my voice. The Raider.
Yeah, sounds really intimidating.
I know.
Which is the goal.
Right.
The Raider is supposed to fit right in between the Trespass and Enforcer for us. It'll be either a speed 12 or 13. I'm not sure which one yet. But I really do think it's going to be kind of comparable to a Destroyer. So that's going to be the one you want to look out for. I know we've got all of our team players and everyone on Team Trilogy is really excited about this disc. Team Trilogy is excited because they're going to get their shot at ordering a couple of these early before anybody else outside of the team gets them. So pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
All right, this one is, they didn't put any name in the spot there, but this is the rules question, so get ready to type PDJ if you need to. When playing a 1,000-foot hole on a golf course, an OB golf green was located about 150 to 200 feet in front of the basket. I played a low forehand over the green, knowing that if I hit the green, I would skip across. My only concern was the flag stick. Could I have had someone remove the flag from the ball golf hole? Had I clipped it or squared it up, would it have?
It would have
put a real damper on a great shot.
Right. Good question. No rules needed. I know the answer to this one.
All right.
And I've seen this happen too, and it really sucks when you hit the flag on a golf green. If an obstacle is in front of your lie and no part of it extends to your lie, you can't move it. It's kind of like if a trash can is out there on the course and it's in between you and the basket, you can't move it. Same with a golf flag. The only way that you can move an obstacle is if part of it is on top of or crossing through your lie. Then you can move it if it is dead and unattached. So if there was a golf flag laying like on top of your disc, you could move that out of the way. But if it's on the golf green, can't touch it. Sorry, man.
There you go. Next one is from Donovan, the disc golf hunter.
Ooh,
Raider.
The Raider.
The Raider Hunter disc golf. I was recently given a Discraft Challenger Super Straight, right? That's what the
SS, yeah.
Putter during the holiday and love it. However, I'm Team Trilogy all the way, and I want to know what is comparable in the Trilogy lineup that is similar to this putter.
I have never thrown a Challenger SS. I've thrown Challengers before, but that was before they came out with the OS and SS. If I understand what it's supposed to be like, I think probably your best feel match is going to either be a Marshall or a Mercy. Those don't feel really similar, but I think they're probably the closest in feel. Flight-wise, I think probably the Mercy would be your best bet. It doesn't have a bead like the Challenger does. I'm not sure if the Challenger SS has it or not. But I think it's going to hold a little bit straighter than something like the Judge or like the Marshall, which want to go straight and then just fade a little bit at the end. So if you're ever up in Emporia and you have that disc, I would be happy to hold on to it and say, hey, this feels like this. I can help you out. But for the time being, that's the best shot I've got.
Next one is from Cole. Hey, guys, I've been thinking about trying out a Justice lately, but I love my harps. Do you guys think there's a place for both discs in a bag, and what shots would you use each for? I feel like the Justice could give me some extra stability over my harp and Verdict, but I'm not sure if it's going to make much of a difference. Thanks for all you guys do. Disc Golf Answer Man is a big reason why I'm almost all DD now, and I cannot wait for...
The Raider. Yeah, I definitely think there's a place for both harps and Justices in the bag. They are, I think they're different enough. The Justice is crazy overstable, like wicked overstable, and the harp is just regular overstable, like throwable overstable. The harp has less distance potential by the rim of it, but just because the Justice is so overstable, you might be able to throw a harp a little bit farther. I like having a Justice or a disc like it. I carry the Anvil right now. They're pretty similar for skip shots or things like that. Most harps don't want to skip. They kind of want to sit when they get to the basket. So I think it's certainly reasonable to carry both discs in those two categories.
Got it. All right, we're going to take a break and go to Speak Pipe. Take a break from the Google form, so hold on. Let me adjust my volume.
Yeah.
See what we got here.
If this first one starts off The Raider, then it's going to be like really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that's...
No.
Okay.
Hey, Bobby, Robert, Eric, and any other disc golf luminaries who might be there. This is Matt from Salem, Oregon.
Luminaries.
I just had a quick question about the flight charts from Trilogy and the actual disc molds. When I look at something like the EMAC Truth, the Compass, and the Sling, they're all within the same speed group, relative stability, and obviously maybe some differences in turn and glide and whatnot. But I wondered are there a lot of different characteristics you can tweak in a mold? Are there sort of infinite variabilities, or are there really just a few characteristics to change, and you can have radically different results in the flight path from that? So, and obviously the way people throw makes a difference too. Anyway, appreciate what you guys do. Thanks for keeping it real.
Yeah, that's a super good question, Matt.
So the way from talking to Thomas a while back when I first started doing all this and I met Thomas and everything, I kind of asked a similar question because I
Explain who Thomas is for those
I'm
who
sorry,
don't know.
Thomas Ekstrom, who is the mastermind, the guy that actually has and says, okay, we're going to make this mold and have it do this, and I'm going to shave off a little bit here, and I'm going to make the rim a little bit like this, and I'm going to use this plate with this bottom, and all that stuff. He's the guy that designs all that. We go to him and say, we want a disc that does this, and he makes it. So anyway, I remember asking him a very similar question because my thinking was, man, wouldn't you run out of discs to make? Right? And according to him, he was like, it's infinite because the slightest change here, the slightest dome here, the slightest bead here makes a difference in the flight. But it also, now you'll have some discs that fly similar, right? But for whatever reason, it might feel better in the hand for Robert than it does me because he likes he may be okay with a wide rim.
Sure.
Where I don't like a wide rim, right? Now, of course, a wide rim.
Wide rim.
Here.
Wide rim.
Wide rim.
The wide rim on the Frisbee
is basically for distance or high speed drivers, but when you get in the mids and stuff like that, one might be a bigger diameter than the other, but they do similar things. So even though it may seem like the disc does similar things, you got to take into account the feel of the disc. Whereas, again, Robert might like the feel of a certain disc, and I don't like it, so I need something different that does the same shot that he's doing with that disc, but I prefer it to feel a certain way in my hand, if that makes sense.
Yeah. There's just a lot of different variables. Like you said, adding a bead, adding a bigger bead than a smaller bead, the depth of the disc, the angle of the underside of the rim, the parting line height, like where the top and bottom of the mold meet. All that stuff affects discs. So, yeah, there's just a lot of different ways that you can change it.
Absolutely. Next one is from Josh.
Hey, Disc Golf Answer Men. This is Josh from Connecticut, and I have a question about working on my form. I've been playing disc golf for about 18 months now, and I throw an escape about 300 feet of real-life distance. I'm interested in getting a bit more distance on my throw, though, so that I can be more competitive with advanced players. I've watched most of Danny's videos on the subject, and he seems to know what he's talking about. The videos have revealed that pretty much everything in my form is wrong. I have no brace, my reach back curves around my body, my timing is off. You get the picture. I don't mind the practice that's going to come next, but I'm wondering, as I head out into the field with my camera to video myself, in what order should I start tackling or recreating my form? What comes first, next, you get it. Thanks, and I appreciate the advice.
Nice. That's a super good question, Josh. I think one of the best things that you could do is just put that video of your form on the Disc Golf Answer Man page and tag Danny in it, so that he can answer directly and just help you by actually looking at the video. But if I was starting fresh, I think I would start from the ground up. So footwork is super important to learning how to throw well. If your feet are off, it's really easy for everything else to be off. That'll help you to get your brace right. Once you're there, you can start working a little bit more on your hips and then up to your reach back and pull through with the power pocket and everything. So if I was starting completely over, I would start at my feet. But if you want to throw a video of your form up there, I know a lot of people have gotten help from Danny and from other players in there. So yeah, definitely do that on the Disc Golf Answer Man Facebook page. What do you think about that?
Reviewing the next question. This one's from, again, no name. I have a friend who prefers to play with an end of a destroyer who thinks it's the best disc for him, however, he doesn't throw it very far. I suggested the Valkyrie because it has proven to be versatile and controllable for beginners such as ourselves, but my friend doesn't like its feel and flight path. What is a good beginner disc that has a similar flight path to the destroyer, but is more controllable and better suited for someone who mostly throws high in the air?
All right, Mr. Anonymous. Where's our keep it real sign? Can we click it on?
Yeah.
I think, now this is just what I think, but I think your friend probably likes the Destroyer and other high-speed molds a whole lot because that's what they see.
Your friend.
Yes, if you have those. No, because that's what they see. That's what they see top players throw, and they think that's what they should be throwing. And that just isn't the case, right? I think you're right in suggesting a disc more like the Valkyrie, or like from us, that would be, an Escape or something along those lines. Just because pros throw a disc doesn't mean that it's the disc for you. And you just said it in the answer yourself, that what is a good disc for players who tend to throw high in the air? Well, if you throw high in the air, most everything's going to be flying nose up, so it's all going to act overstable and not really fly the way that it's supposed to. And if that's the case, you definitely don't want something high speed, because its effects are only going to be exaggerated by having that nose up and being a little too high in the air. As far as discs that feel like that he might be able to get a little bit more flight out of, I know that this is one of our go-to answers, but I actually believe this is true. The Trespass might be a good disc for him to try out, that's going to fly a little bit farther than a Destroyer if it's nose up and you're fighting against the overstability of that. But what I would suggest more even than getting a new disc is working to get your form to where those throws are coming out nose down and parallel to the plane that you're trying to throw. That's going to help you more than just getting a new disc.
Yeah.
Although, buy a bunch of Trespasses. We're happy to do that, but I really think that'll help you more.
Next one. Oh, turn it back on.
Yep.
Or off. Justin, this one's from Justin from Arkansas. My wife has shown an interest in playing and has gone and thrown a few rounds with me. What are some tips you can give me to help me give advice without overwhelming her? Should we start in the field work to work on form? Her putting is actually great from circle 1, about 85%, but her
Nice.
form is a little off. Rounding is her main problem. Any help would be great, as I'd love for us to keep playing rounds together. As always, thanks for all you do to grow the sport. Keep up the great work. So I'm going to give you my quick advice.
Sweet.
And that is, don't give her any advice unless she really asks for it. Because a lot of times what has happened, and we've even heard from some of the ladies here, from Denise and the pages, same thing, excuse me, is that a lot of times we tend to, us boyfriends and husbands and stuff, get excited that our wife is interested in something that we love, and we tend to overdo it when it comes to give advice, and that can just turn them away. So don't overdo it when it comes to advice. Now, if she asks, give her a little bit of advice, But just like you had to learn it and just had to get out there and throw it and watch people and learn, that's the same thing. Same thing she has to do. So I'm not saying you shouldn't give no advice. Just don't be too overzealous because that could have the opposite effect.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think if you are going to give advice, make sure that it's something that they're asking for, right?
Right.
The first couple of times Shay and I went out to play disc golf, she would say, okay, how do I set up? How do I do this? And then after that, she just started throwing. And Shay, still to this day, does her X step with her feet opposite. So most of us put our right foot forward, then left foot behind, then right foot, unless we're a weird lefty, you know what I'm saying? But she's right-handed. She puts her right foot, she takes a step with her right foot, then puts her left foot in front of her right foot and throws. Well, once she puts her right foot back again. And it kind of pains me. Like, I say, Shay, that's not how that's supposed to go. But she doesn't care because we're just out there to, like, enjoy ourselves and have fun. So she'll work on it every once in a while, but it's not enough to where we have to be like, yo, don't do that or you just won't enjoy yourself. Now, if they ask, and she has asked a few times, I just try to focus on one thing. You know, you're not going to fix every form flaw in a day, and you're probably not going to fix every form flaw maybe ever. So just focus on the one thing that you think is most important. So if it's rounding, you know, try to show her what that right angle is supposed to look like when you're pulling through, to where your chest to your bicep and then down to your forearm are all at right angles, that power pocket. Try and get her to work on that and see if that helps.
There you go. This one's on rules. No name again. The PDJ rulebook says that all players must wear shoes.
Yes.
If a player's lie is in a large puddle, can they take their shoes off for one throw without being disqualified?
No.
Really?
Yep. I've done it before, and I didn't know the rule, but none of us knew the rule, so it was great.
There you go.
But yeah, you have to be wearing shoes, period. If you take them off, then I guess you could be – it's either a penalty stroke or something like that. Just don't do it. You have to be wearing shoes. There you go.
This one's from Tyler. A few episodes ago, y'all recommended amateur players limiting the number of discs they throw. The difficulty with that is if you play in tournaments, you often get plastic in a player's pack. Some you might now throw. Would it be more beneficial for an AM to throw everything they are given or trade sell the discs not in their bag? Any advice for limiting molds in your bag?
Yeah, good question. I would say if you're getting payout from tournaments, try all those discs out. Why not?
Yeah.
You know, they're not free. You paid for the tournament, but essentially you're getting to try those discs out kind of for free. So yeah, try them out, see what works for you. And it might be that you find that, you were throwing the thief for the longest time, but then you tried an escape and you really liked that better. I don't think it's bad to test those discs out. And if you want to trade or sell them, that's cool. I don't think it's super important to only carry, I only carry enforcers in all stages of wear, and I only carry explorers in all stages of wear. I don't think that's necessarily super important, but I do think for amateur players and players across the board, we can get bogged down in having too many individual molds that we rely on to do just one small different thing, instead of learning to make the disc work for us. So that's why I think we suggest that players carry multiples and kind of narrow those molds just so that they can learn them more fully, I guess.
Yeah.
That makes sense? Makes sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, good. We did it.
Chase asks, I am switching my bag over to DD and hopefully getting sponsored too. So
what's up?
What's up? What would you recommend as a maximum distance driver for me? I throw 380 feet. Maximum.
I think you really couldn't go wrong with many of our distance drivers.
Is that a maximum?
Well, yeah. This is the enforcer. That's like a maximum.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Especially a bio enforcer. That's probably a good one to try out if you haven't tried a trespass. I feel like we always say trespass, but it really is a good stepping stone between fairway driver to intro to distance driver to kind of the more overstable ones.
Yeah.
But then once we come out with the Raider, definitely try the Raider. That's going to be money.
Does anybody have a disc called the Maximus?
I don't know.
Because that would be a cool name for maximum distance. Maximus.
Maximus. It's like the end of distance.
Maximus.
It doesn't fit on stamps very well, so kind of disregard that.
Probably
but
not.
yeah.
Oops, we don't want to go to that one. We will go to this one.
Yeah, let's go to the next one.
This one's from Josh E.
Josh E.
After getting into the sport 2 years ago, I'm getting fairly good, in my opinion. I don't have a rating yet, but plan on getting a membership this year. I played one sanctioned tournament in the past year at MA4 level and came in 4th or 5th. Well, which is it? I feel like I've definitely I feel like I've definitely upped my game since then. So should I step up to MA3 for my next tournament or wait until I actually win a tournament at MA4? And then for future reference, should I repeat this process before moving up divisions?
Cool. Good
I'd say
question.
a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
They wait until
they win and then
they move up.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's a have to, but
It's not a bad way to think about it. I know that, like I've said before, when I moved up, it was because I was tired of playing with people who were making the same mistakes as me and like a lot of mistakes, and we were all still competing. I wanted to improve, and so I wanted to play with people who made fewer mistakes so that would kind of motivate me, right? When you're in all of the amateur division, who was it? Josh E. Josh, when you're in all of the amateur divisions, I think it's your prerogative which one you play. Your rating dictates where you can legally play. But if you want to play up, I don't think that's a bad idea, especially just to try it out. If you want to wait till you win a tournament, that's not bad. But I don't think once you win a tournament, you automatically have to move up. If you win 5, rec tournaments and your rating still says you can play recreational, you can do that if you want to. But if you want to improve, I think playing with slightly better competition is going to help.
there you go. All right, let's check on over to Speak Pipe and see what we got with Phil or from Phil.
Nice.
What if it's Dr. Phil?
I think so. Yeah, he calls into the show a lot.
Yeah, he does. He likes to play disc golf.
Yeah.
Hey, cool daddy, Slick Breeze.
Nailed it.
Eric.
Why do they never do the right one?
I'm sure he's doing it on purpose.
You think?
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I'm
yes.
asking why it's the wrong one?
Well, yeah. They're just kind of needling you. Have you heard of this thing? It's called trolling.
Let's hear it.
Have you
again.
heard of it?
Let's hear it again.
Hey, cool daddy, Slick Breeze. Eric Sweetness McCabe.
Sweet.
And Bobby McCalsey. I'm
Sweet.
Phil
Okay.
from Toronto, Canada.
What's up, Phil?
And my question is, I've been working a lot lately on putting and looking at different types of putts that pros do. Assuming that you were to start from scratch, so you don't already have a determined putt type that you're used to, what do you think is the most effective type of putt in terms of angle and nose direction? I'm noticing a lot of different styles of putts. People putt flat, hyzer, anhyzer, and on top of that, nose down or nose up. What do you think is most effective? A nose up flat putt, nose down hyzer, anhyzer nose up? There's lots of options. That's my question. Thanks, and keep it real.
What do you
For
think?
sure.
What do you think? on that?
First of all, I know I make fun of people saying "cool daddy slick" breathing all that, but I think it's pretty cool that you guys do that. So we'll hear it one more time.
Shut up.
Hey, cool daddy, Slick Breeze.
Okay, what?
Wait, can we move on now?
Yeah, right. What was this question?
If you were starting fresh, what kind of putting style would you choose?
I would choose the normal one. What is it called?
What?
not the straddle.
Well, straight on, like
Yeah, straight on putting. That's what I would choose.
I think he's talking about like push putting or spin putting.
I did not pay attention to the question at all.
Okay.
Well,
What do you currently putt with? Let's start off with that.
I do push putting, but I want to do more spin because I always hear that spin putting. Because what I'm noticing is that the farther I get away, the more when I push putt, the more I have to hyzer it in,
Right.
and that to me, you got a lot of factors like the wind and stuff like that. So, I guess you'd have to say spin putting, because from what I understand, spin putting you can put a lot of more force on it, and a lot of more spin makes it going to stay stable a lot longer straight at the basket.
Yeah, but then if you miss, you're blowing by probably 20 or 30
I
feet.
know, but what I always hear
At
is,
least you have a chance to make it.
right, you got to go for it.
Sure. All right,
So I know a lot of people, they say that they spush putting where it's a spin and a push at the same time. But I get frustrated because I'll say, okay, I'm going to put a little spin on it, and then it goes over to left field.
it definitely takes some work. Yeah. So I think I would say kind of what you were getting at. I think I would go with a hybrid style.
Yeah.
That's what I settled on now. I think if Eric were here, he'd probably say spin putt because he's spin putted.
He's a big time spin putter.
Well, yeah, and he's spin putted for forever, so he's extremely proficient at it, right? But for most regular people whose wrists aren't as good as his, because Eric's wrist control is exceptional. Like, he almost hits the basket from everywhere, like from almost every distance. He's either making it or hitting the basket, and it's kind of like, hey, stop that, man. Just miss a putt or two every once in a while, like all the rest of us. But that's I think he's kind of a special circumstance in that he just really is that good at spin putting. If it was up to me, I'd probably do kind of a hybrid putt so you have a chance to make it, but you're not blown by the basket super far. There you go.
All right, let's hear from the next one.
Hey, cool daddy slick.
You are the
Breeze.
worst.
Oops, sorry, wrong one.
Oh yeah, it was unintentional.
All right, this one's from Elmer.
Get out of here.
Hey, DeGam fam. Bobby, this is for you because in a recent episode, you sounded a bit down because you'd run out of SpeakPipe questions.
Oh, thanks.
So here's 2 of them for you,
Oh,
and I'll let you know when to pause.
I
I
appreciate
got you, brother.
Nice guy.
First, I received a marksman basket for Christmas and have been practicing down in the basement with this frigid weather. I just finished hitting 10 of 12 from about 15 feet.
Nice.
But that makes me wonder, if you have relatively calm conditions, at what distance should you consider a putt automatically in? Pause it, Bobby.
Paused.
Automatically in is a misnomer, right? Because we've missed as short of putts as 10 feet.
Right.
But as far as putts that when I step up to, I think, yeah, I need to make this. For me, that's pretty much anything inside the circle. Especially if it's calm conditions, if I'm missing inside the circle, that I've missed an opportunity. But as far as the ones that I feel like, hey, I'm going to make this unless something really terrible goes wrong, that's probably 25 and in. From that 25 to 33, I feel like I should make it, but they're certainly not automatic.
Gotcha.
What do you say?
I agree.
Same for you.
Same for me. Next question. Or second part of the question.
First of all, I disagree with that. What is it for you? What's your distance?
My distance for what?
Where you walk up and you're like, oh, that's automatic. I'm going to make it every time.
Oh, I mean, I have to be able to touch the chains when I'm standing straight up.
Okay, cool.
Because I tend to get nervous because in my mind I'm thinking, oh, you can make this. Oh, but what if you don't? Mm-hmm. Because there have been times, you're right, you pick it up, you're like, oh, this is a gimme, and you kind of lob it and it hits the top of the cage or something like that and knocks
super
it
annoying.
out. Yeah, so I get nervous enough to where I want to pick it up, and if I reach, I'll just go, okay, it's gonna go into the basket.
Gotta get that positive self-talk, man. How are you gonna get to 850 if you can't speak positively to yourself?
I don't know. We'll get there.
All right.
Second, I, like so many others, have played the game of acquiring lots of different putter molds to find the one. Because I currently only have 2 copies of my chosen putter. Don't worry, more on the way for this season. What does the DeGam crew think about using all the defunct molds for practice? I feel like this will help if I ever need to rely on unfamiliar discs for some emergency. But I'm just curious on everyone's thoughts. Thanks for keeping it real.
Thanks for sending your questions.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Elmer.
So I've heard this before, where a lot of people are of the mind that you could, from a certain distance,
it doesn't much matter.
It doesn't much matter what putter you have. Now, once you start getting out to maybe 30,
maybe a little inside that. Yeah, 20, 25.
Then there's some difference happening as far as the stability of the disc and your throw. So to use other putters may not be a big deal until you get to those certain distances. Now, of course, you'll hear a lot of pros that will say you need to practice with the putter that you're going to putt with because that's what you need to be familiar with. Mm-hmm. So I would be a little leery of practicing with other molds, really depending on how serious you want to be come tournament day, I guess.
I think that's right.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to Google Forms.
How many we got? Oh, we're 65?
65. We got 15 to go to hit your
Let's
mark.
go.
This one is from Adam. Do you change your hand position for different shots? Heiser versus Anheuser. Not talking about power versus fan grip.
Good question, Adam. No. Heiser and Anheuser flat shots are more about the angle at which you reach back and the angle that you follow through on, as opposed to where you put your hand. I think your hand position on the disc should be pretty similar across all shots.
All right, real quick, we're going to talk a little bit about disc golf match play because this Friday, February 1st, if you're listening to this before February 1st, if you're not, then it's already passed and you're good to go, is when we will start accepting applications for tournament directors to run a bracket in their area. And we will take the applications up until March 14th.
Nice.
It'll take about a week for your application to get approved and to get all the information and then get the stuff sent out to you. Or after that, we'll make arrangement that get the stuff sent out to you. But we are super excited. Remember, this is the event where Matt Whitlock came from South Carolina. He played. It went down from how many brackets did we have? Do you remember?
It was over 200. I know that.
Over 200 brackets, whittled down to him and one other person playing for 18 veteran baskets to be set up at your course anywhere. Brand new course. Replace some old baskets at a current course. But 18 veteran baskets and discs for life. Asterisks 20 years for him that year.
Mm-hmm.
This year, 18 veteran baskets and discs for 10 years.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool stuff. That's your chance. Now, it's really cool. We're going to have already Eric McCabe, Dixon Jowers are going to be running brackets here locally, and we'll do some coverage of that and have some fun. But I really, really encourage you to do it in your state because it's a really cool way to get your disc golf community together. Something different out of the ordinary as far as running a tournament. Match play can be super exciting. The guy that you think could not win, plays against the guy you're like, oh, he for sure is going to win. That may not be the end, what happens.
Right.
So that's the exciting thing about match play. So definitely check it out, discgolfmatchplay.com. Get your information in on February 1st so we can get you set up to run an event, a singles bracket event out in your area.
Yeah. If you didn't do this last year, definitely check it out. It's super easy to run. It's actually really low maintenance as far as competitive disc golf goes. You collect the money, you order the packs, you put players' information into UDisc, and you press a button. And then you just tell people when they're playing and who they're playing. It's super easy. And I love match play, just like Bobby said. I've played a few match play things before where I had no business beating the person I was matched up against, and I beat them just because I just happened to show up that day. I happened to have my best shots, and they didn't play their best. And then I've gotten absolutely thwarted by someone who someone who had no business beating me. So in match play, anything can happen, and I love it for that. It's really cool.
All right, so next question comes from Chase Braswell.
Chase, let's get it.
Oh, you probably don't know the question, don't you? I am 12 and can throw up to 460 feet.
Nice. Me too.
And make a ton of 30 to 90-foot shots.
Me too.
I seem to make more 50-footers than 20-footers and be more accurate at 400-foot drives than 200-foot drives.
Me too.
How do I get better at shorter drives and putts?
Okay. Chase, first of all, if you are 12 and throwing 460, then you probably ought to come to Junior Worlds here in Emporia and just win. Seems like a good plan. But if you are struggling with being able to throw longer shots better than shorter shots and make longer putts better than shorter putts, longer shots compared to 200-foot shots, I think it's really important to work on maybe not reaching back fully on those kind of upshot shots. I'm not saying to not get the correct angles, but maybe you're not reaching all the way back and turning your shoulders all the way back to throw a 200-foot shot. But at the same time, you still need to follow through as if you're throwing that 400-foot shot. Some people, that's kind of how they moderate their distance between distance shots and kind of touch-up shots. And really the only way to get better at those is just to practice. I know that's a really boring answer. Nobody likes to hear it. But the more that you throw 200-foot shots, the better you're going to be at them. And I know it's fun to throw far and to get out and just be like, oh, yeah, look, I've thrown the farthest of anyone in the area. It doesn't really matter if you can't finish the hole. So work on those upshots. They're super important. And then same for putts. It's a lot more fun to make a 50-footer than it is a 20-footer, but 20-footers win tournaments all day, every day. If you make all your 20 to 25-footers in an event, you are going to be challenging for the win, even if you're not throwing that great. So it really just comes down to practice. If you want to compete at the top level, you must practice those shots because those are the ones that really affect your score the most.
This one is from Chandler. So I was wondering how someone would go about trying to get on a media team for a company. Whether it be a writer or a videographer, there are plenty of people with exceptional skills who want to be on a team without having to be 1,000 rated. What does Dee look for someone to join their team? And what can people do to better their chances? So rating obviously has nothing to do with it because I'm 807. Yeah, there's nothing.
Chandler writes a blog right now. He called and interviewed me the other day, and he's written a bunch of blogs for just about like other touring players and stuff. But he's interested in getting into disc golf media.
So I can only tell you based on from my experience, how I got into media is I just started creating media. I just started doing it, and I got paid pennies. I would drive 6, 7, 8 hours to a Texas tournament, and the tournament director would give me $50 for gas.
All right.
And I was driving a Ford Expedition because it was the vehicle that I had. So you have an 8-cylinder gas guzzler. I was driving for 6, 7 hours, and I would get paid $50. But I knew I was planting the seed because I said this is something I want to do, and I was just going to do it. And that person happened to be Jeremy Rusko that paid me the $50. But here I am today working the job of disc golf media. The two gentlemen that work for me, Anthony and Danny, do amazing work. And they did stuff before. They didn't I didn't seek them out and say, hey, you want to learn how to do videos and come work for us? No, they were already producing great content. And I watched them and follow them, and I would talk to them and chat with them. And then eventually when the opportunities came along, they joined the team. So, Chandler, I would say the best thing is to keep doing what you're doing. But you got to do it for the love of doing it, because if you're doing it for the end goal of getting a job or getting famous or something like that, you're going to lose interest, or you're going to get tired before anything eventually happens. So you just got to do it for the love of it. And then if you're good enough and you're talented enough, then the opportunities will come where either you will be on a media team, get hired for a media team for a company, or have your own media team company. I mean, look at Jonathan Gomez with Jomez. He's his own boss. He's his own company, and he did it because he loved doing it, and he loved doing it for disc golf. All right, next question. Rasmus.
Nice.
Hi, Disc Golf fans, man. I have a question about some of the new upcoming discs, particularly the DD Raider.
The Raider.
And the Lat 64 Recoil. I don't know why.
As soon as we need voiceover work for our discs, we've talked about having animated characters for discs and stuff like that, but as soon as we need the voiceover work,
I'm doing the sound work.
That's Bobby. Voice actor extraordinaire.
I've been looking for the new in-betweener for my Enforcer and Trespass. I'm stopping.
Yeah, you should.
I already bagged a Defender, but I feel like the rim is a little too big for my hand. I noticed that the Recoil has a slightly deeper and slimmer rim than the Defender. Can these two discs be compared in flight pattern? FYI, I primarily throw sidearm. I hope you guys can help me. Best regards, Rasmus from Denmark. #Team Warden.
Ooh, Team Warden. You're in, Rasmus. Thank you for submitting your question. Before that, we weren't that excited about it, but since you I'm just kidding. Thank you for submitting your question. So he's looking at an in-betweener between the Enforcer and the Trespass. He bags a Defender. I think the Recoil is going to be right kind of in that middle spot. The Recoil and the Raider, I think, will occupy kind of similar spots. I think the Raider should have a little bit more distance, but we haven't gotten those in our hands yet, so I couldn't tell you for sure. But I do think those would be the two discs that you want to look at, the Recoil and the Raider both.
Let's see. Next one comes from Brendan. Hey, guys, I have a question. Oh, we'll wait because he has a question for Eric. We'll wait until he gets back.
Cool.
Chris with a K.
Nice. Like the one that works upstairs.
Yes. I currently throw a Trespass as my primary distance driver, about 350 to 375, and a King for max distance shots because I can get it a good 50 to 75 feet further. But in my head,
But in any headwind.
But
in my head, I throw it farther, even farther than that.
It's weird how your mind puts the words. Anyway.
Yeah, it's okay.
But in any headwind, or if I don't give my King a good bit of hyzer, my King will either flip and cut roll or go right. Use right hand, backhand, and never come back. What disc would you recommend in place of my King that could give me that distance, but not as touchy?
Oh, wow. Torchies. Yeah. Okay. Torchies on the rim.
Not as touchy. Not as torchy.
That's a really tough one because part of the beauty of discs like the King is that they are kind of sensitive to the wind, but they have such glide and such speed that if you put them on the right angle, they can just go and go and go. It's awesome. Part of the issue, too, is that if you are throwing into a headwind, you're just not going to get the same sort of distance that you would in deadwind or a tailwind unless you have just a perfect disc and a perfect throw to go with it. So something that would be slightly more stable than a King, I would say you might check out a Sheriff from Dynamic Discs. I think that's going to have a bit more stability. But in a headwind, there's a chance that's still going to move right on you some. It may not move right as much as the King, but that'd be the one I would check out. Also a higher speed distance driver like that. So that'd be the one I would check out. But also just know when you're throwing something that's even moderately understable into a headwind, it's going to be tough to get it to do exactly what you want every single time.
There you go. There it is. Ryan, Robert, what type
What's
of
up?
product do you use in your hair, and what is your hair routine?
Man, we've been over this, but Ryan, since I know you're not in the chat right now, I'll tell you. So I have it. If you ever watch the video, I have some of my hair product up here behind me. It's called Casual Hair Clay from Dollar Shave Club. And for people who ask what I do in the morning to get ready, I take a shower and dry my hair, and I put hair stuff in it. It does not take very long. Probably from the time I get out of the shower to the time hair is done is like, I don't know, 4 minutes. Because I've got a lot of hair, so I have to blow dry it at the very end so it actually dries. Because it's pretty long. But then after that, you just like put the stuff in your hands and rub them together, and then you put them in your hair, and it's easy.
So I've traveled with Robert, and I've seen him obviously after a shower, where it doesn't look as cool as it is right now.
It's just kind of,
and it
it's
is
kind of
it
free
is.
form.
I will tell you, the first time I saw it, I was taken aback.
How long it is?
Well, just how different it.
Oh yeah, it makes a huge difference. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll show you how long it is. Like if you hold it up to the front of my face, I mean, it almost gets to the bottom of my nose there.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
It's a little
It wasn't the
short,
length.
yeah.
It was just. I remember thinking, "What is? Oh, his hair's flat. It's not all fixed up."
Well,
So-
yeah, and it doesn't, like that
So-
hair stuff holds really well, but when it's just out of the shower, it just kind of like does what it wants.
So my point is, the hair does make the man,
Well, yeah, everyone knows that.
and but I'm glad I don't have a bumpy head. That way I can do without the hair, because I'm still a man without,
sure.
without the hair.
For sure.
What kind of hair product does Bobby
Yeah,
use?
that's
He
what I wanna
asks on the YouTubes. I actually use a product to shave my head called Head Blade. It's a specific type of lotion that a gentleman who is bald made it for bald men, and it is very smooth and it's very good for sensitive hair or sensitive skin. So it's called Head Blade, and I use that, and I really like it.
Nice.
This next question is
You ought to
from,
try some of my stuff sometime.
how am I going to try that?
Well, yeah, you just put it on your head.
You know what I do need? I do need.
and then it's just like a little sticky all day.
I do need something for my beard, because I notice sometimes my beard will stick out sideways, so I need stuff to kind of keep it.
You want me to make you some beard oil?
What do you use?
I make it.
You make it?
Yep.
Yes, please make me some.
I'll work on it.
All right. Let's see. Jonathan says, "Hey, Disc Golf Instrument Crew, I was able to pick up a first run South Florida Open Fusion X Trespass.
Noise.
I'm in love with my Lucid X Trespass. I was wondering what kind of stability or flight path I can expect out of my Fusion X. Thanks for everything you do, Jonathan from Philadelphia.
From what I understand, the Fusion...
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
That's from, we won't say who it's from because that person's a bad person now.
Yeah, true.
Bill Cosby.
Oh, okay. I have not been able to throw the Fusion X Trespasses, but I saw Kobe Geist from Florida throw a couple of them. From what I saw, they were slightly more overstable than a normal Fusion Trespass, pretty similar to like a Lucid Trespass right out of the box. I don't think it's going to be quite as overstable as your Lucid X Trespass out of the box, but yeah, more so than a regular Fusion or a Bio or something like that. Should get a little flip up to flat, maybe a little ride to the right, and then a little bit of finish. What's up?
This question sent in by...
Oh, Paul Macbeth sent a question into the show.
Great, now I got to read it.
Yeah, let's hit it.
Paul Macbeth sent a question into the show, obviously. Well, anyway, it says, after switching to Discraft, I've been so distracted by housework that I've not been playing much. It seems that my adventure SS has been fading out early on me, only going 130 feet, and I forgot how to do an X-step. Just need some tips from y'all.
Well, Paul, thank you for calling into the show.
Writing into this.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm glad that you came to the experts on the sport because, we have accomplishments that far outweigh really anything that you have. So the number one thing you want to work on is you're going to want to get something a little bit more overstable than that Avenger SS. You really want that control out to about 110 feet. That's what's going to win you the World
What would you
Championships.
suggest that he tries?
I'm going to suggest for you specifically, right now you're throwing that Avenger SS and you want something that finishes a little bit more to the left. You're probably going to want to try, like a Lucid Convict. I think you're going to like that for that smooth hyzer shot for your max distance.
Paul Macbeth, if you will accept this advice, let me know. Give me your address. I will send you one. Personally purchase you a.
I think you'll really like it.
Yeah.
That's very funny that somebody wrote that, by the way.
Justin asks, I'm noticing the MPO players are throwing some lower weight discs in the 160s. How often, why do pros throw these lighter discs? I would have thought pros only threw 170 plus since they have the arm speed and want heavier discs for predictability in the wind.
2 seconds. Doc on the board says, I hate to admit it, but I do like Macbeth on those champs versus chumps. Just to clarify, I like Macbeth. He's been nothing but nice to me every time I've been around him. So obviously we're just messing with him because somebody wrote it in a fake question. But I wish him the best. I hope he does really well. So yeah, we're just poking fun at him. I think he does a great job.
I hope you've watched the show or listened to the show long enough that we just like to have fun.
Yeah, I just mess with people.
All right, so I haven't noticed a lot of MPO players throwing 160s.
Maybe like 168, 169. A lot of times that's really only in distance drivers and then in overstable distance drivers. I mean, I've seen pros throw, like I think Dustin Keegan will throw some 168, 169s. I know. I mean, I've thrown some of those, just because when they're that overstable, you're not really worried about the weight affecting it that much. You're just throwing it for max distance.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's go to Speak Pipe. Did it again. This one's from Maddie Icewinter.
Speed Pike?
Maddie Icewinter.
Hey, guys. My question is about the rule where you can always take a penalty stroke and rethrow from your previous lie. I live in Pendleton, Oregon, and we basically are in the middle of a bunch of wheat fields. We have a park front side with a few trees, and then the back side's just kind of some rolling hills with no trees or anything. And the hills are the only thing that makes it difficult in any way, shape, or form. We have one island at the bottom of the hill. So clearly, if you roll down to the bottom of the hill and you roll on the island, obviously you can take your penalty stroke and re-putt from where you were. Other than that, though, during the tournament, we would prefer if people had to walk down to the bottom of the hill, throw back up, use their energy, learn how to throw up a hill, learn how to land a disc on the side of the hill at the right angle so it doesn't roll away. And what my question is, I guess, is can they always do that? And if so, is there anything that we could do with the PDGA that would say that they can't do that during our tournament? Because it's literally the only thing that we got to make it hard. And if somebody can just re-putt a putt, would take that penalty stroke and make it, they're going to get the exact same score as best case scenario of going back down to the bottom and not using any of their energy or anything else like that. So we just don't really like that people can do that back on our hills, but I don't know that we have a leg to stand on to make people stop doing that. I'll hang up and listen.
Did I miss this? At the bottom of the hill, is there OB?
I can't remember. I don't know.
Okay, Maddie, because I didn't catch that, and I don't think we need to replay the question.
Okay.
I'm gonna just address both scenarios. Okay, so if they're basket up on top of the hill and then you putt, it goes to the bottom, right? If there is not OB down there, you can take a putt from that original spot, but you're taking an additional penalty stroke. So if I was putting for 2. Say I throw my putt for 2, it goes way down to the bottom of the hill and it's not out of bounds. Well, that sucks, but then I go down to the bottom of the hill and I can putt 3, or I can putt from that same spot I was just at, putting 4. So yeah, you might get the same score, that's true, but at least for me, I'm going down to the bottom of the hill knowing that I can at least have a shot at saving a 3. I'm always going to take that option, unless it's like De La Viega type hills where it's so far down that it's just irretrievable sounds right.
You're unretrievable.
That's true.
You're irretrievable.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby. Cool Daddy Slick Breeze. Now, the thing is, yes, they can exercise that rule, but let's say,
Cool Daddy Slick Breeze.
Could you turn it up a little bit louder next time? My gosh. Get out of here.
I know it's going to be that loud.
Dude, you're the worst.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Anyway, so, all right. I'm putting for 2. I'm so thrown off now. Thank you very much. Putting for 2, it goes down to the bottom. I'm putting for 3, right? If I take the penalty stroke, I'm putting for 4. There's a chance that I could miss that putt and still go down to the bottom of the hill. So unless it's like a guaranteed really short putt, I don't see the harm in, people being allowed to exercise that rule. Now, if it's at the bottom of the hill and there's OB down there, then yeah, absolutely, I would take it at the top of the hill every single time, with the knowledge that if I miss it again, like, I'm probably going to keep taking putts from that spot. So I get that you want people to be, punished by trying to play this hill or whatever, but it's in the rules. Like, you just kind of have to roll with it.
There you go. You know who I miss seeing? I don't see Mr. Johnny V on the chat board.
Where you at, JVD?
JVD?
Do you even care anymore?
All right, this one's from Anonymous. So
it's 8 seconds long, so who knows?
Okay, so we'll see what we got here. I'll be ready to hit pause just in case we have some weird anonymous stuff going on.
What is up, Cool Daddy Slick Breeze? That is fun to say. And everybody else, guys?
Cut off.
Sorry, Anonymous. You're going to have to send that in again.
Send it in again.
All right, this one's from somebody's email address.
Yep.
What is up,
he's back.
gang and Cool Daddy Slick Breeze? That is actually a lot of fun to say. My name is Gregarious. I live up here in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia.
Nice.
You guys need to give a little bit more love to your northern cousins. My question for you guys is, I'm having issues with my drive. Everything else is looking good, but my drives, when I put some decent power into it, gets released on a hyzer angle. And I really believe it's because when I'm doing my walk-up, I'm putting my weight above my toes. But by doing that, my back's kind of hunched just the tiniest bit over. And when I release, the disc goes on a hyzer. Now I know what you're saying. Well, stand up straight, dummy. Well, it's kind of awkward for me to stand completely straight when I'm walking up. But on top of that, when I stand straight, the disc kind of gets released on an anhyzer. So my question for you guys is, what can I do? What can I do to not let the disc get released on a hyzer? But at the same time, how do I really put my weight on my toes and my body above my toes? I hope that makes sense. Much love from Canada. Keep doing what you guys do.
Sweet. Thanks for calling in from Canada. I hope that you aren't under all the snow. I'm sure you are, though.
Yeah.
Which sucks. Okay, now, as far as I understand disc golf form, being on your toes is valuable in some places, but once you get to where you're going to pivot brace at the end of the throw right before you're about to reach back and let the disc go, your weight should not be on your toes at that point. You're going to want that to either be in your heel or midfoot. And the reason for that is that allows you to engage your hips a little bit more and rotate around that heel instead of putting so much pressure on your knees and stuff if you're rotating on your toe. I think one of the things that might help you out a little bit is if you are slightly bent over and everything's coming out on hyzer, and then when you stand up, everything comes out on anhyzer. You might just try bending your knees a little bit more in your X step and in your footwork. That might help you out just a little bit. Ideally, if you're standing up straight and everything comes out on an anhyzer, then think throwing on just the slightest hyzer. I've heard a lot of people do that when they're trying to throw straight shots, so that it can kind of protect against just absolutely rolling something over. So, yeah, that's what I would try.
Excelente. This one's from Yelte.
Hey, Bobby, Emac, and Robin. This is Jelte Visser from the Netherlands, and I got a question regarding the Trilogy Challenge for this year. What date is it possible to host? Because I did not see any posts about or regarding the first date available to host one. I'm going to do this for the second time and would like to do it as early as possible in the season. Thanks for what you do. Keep it real. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so the keep it real part, which isn't really keeping it real, but just to let you know, there is old information on there because we still have quite a bit of time from now until you can start. Now, looking back at the old Trilogy from 2018, around May 26, it was May 26, 2018 to October 7, 2018. you can expect it to be around the May time period. Now, I had heard some rumblings, I think, where we're going to try to start it early, but we weren't sure about that because remember what just happens right after May is the Glassbone Open. You know, a little thing we have put together where we have about 2,000
right
people.
Right after April.
Which is April.
You said what happens right after May.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Right after April,
yes,
which is May, is the Glassbone Open, the end of April. So, so a lot goes on. So, anyway, it'll be around the May time period. Now, of course, months before that, we'll open it up to allow people to get their event registered and stuff like that. So, you'll see a lot more information once we get things rolling for that for sure.
Definitely. And TrilogyChallenge.com is going to be your homepage for that.
Oh, look, about an hour ago, looked like Malachi.
Oh, we got Malachi up in here.
So we're going to get through. Let's bust through these so we can get to Malachi.
Yeah, let's.
This one's Jesse.
Hey, guys. So a couple days ago, I was playing at my local course here in Salem, Oregon, and I hit a car.
Whoa.
And hit the passenger side door, and the car pulled over immediately, and the lady got out, and she was really upset.
Well, yeah, not bad.
And I apologized to her, and I didn't really know what else to do. It got really awkward, and then she drove away. So, I guess what would people do? What do people do when they hit a car? I don't know. So that's my question. Thank you.
Sweet. Thanks for calling in, Jesse.
Let's switch it up and see what your answer would be. Let's say you picked up a rock and threw it at a car and you hit the car. What could possibly happen? You'd be liable. Right? You're liable for the damage because you threw the rock at the car. What does it make a difference if it was a disc and you were throwing it off a tee? There is no difference.
Yep.
You caused the object to hit the car. You're liable.
Right. Whether it was on purpose or not.
Correct. Whether it was on purpose or not. Know it. And the thing is, and sure, if you picked up a rock and threw it at a car, maybe there would be some other degree of penalty because you purposely did it. If it was accidental, then you wouldn't be held to the fact that it was an accident. In other words, accidents happen. That's why they call it an accident. But somebody is liable for it, and you would be the one liable. So you should probably thank your lucky stars that the lady just kind of drove away rather than trying to come after you for any maybe damage that may have happened. Now, I'm assuming since she drove away, there was hardly any damage done to the car, if any.
Right. And I think there's something to just waiting. If there's any danger of a car being anywhere close, I just won't throw. You know, I haven't hit a car before. I've hit like cars in a parking lot if they're close to a fairway or like close to a basket or something on accident. But if there's a moving car, man, I'm not playing that game. I'm just
yes, John Smith. We are teaching law because we stayed at a Holiday Inn Express, so we are definitely qualified.
Very qualified.
Come on, man. Of course, we're just telling based off what we know.
Yeah.
Anonymous asks.
Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man crew. This is Peter from Tennessee. So my friends have been making fun of me for my putting routine, and I'm wondering what I can do about it. I feel like adding a little bit of a grunt as I putt helps me.
You could beat him up.
Yeah.
Kick him in the.
Reach the basket when I get towards the edge of the circle. So basically, all I was wondering is that within the rules, or can they give me a penalty stroke if, as I putt, I let out a little bit of a.
Thanks, Anonymous, for that.
Oh,
I think he just did that just to put that in there.
I think that's
he got
entirely
over on
possible.
Us. He got over one on
entirely
us.
Possible.
Anonymous.
So to answer the question,
you're gonna make me have to screen all these freaking calls in now.
Okay, so to answer the question, no, they cannot penalty stroke you for that unless it's super loud and other people on the course can hear you. I feel uncomfortable. Can we move on to the next question?
All right, now we're on to Malachi.
Malachi!
Hello, Disc Golf Answer Man. It's Malachi here from Finland. I was calling you about... Okay, let's start over again. It's Benjamin Pesonen from Finland. I'm not Malachi.
Oh, then you're out.
You're
out.
You're out of here, Benjamin. But seriously,
what is your question?
The Malachi joke. It's just super funny. Thank you, Bobby, for being yourself and
nice
for having your spelling errors and stuff. But let's go
Always.
to my questions. First, where are the 2019 flight charts fully from the Trilogy lineup, and how can I download it from somewhere? Because I absolutely love the flight chart. I would love to, explore disc in their own spot of the chart and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm weird. But let's go to the second question.
Oh, wait. What was the first one?
Updated flight charts. Answer is we are currently working on those.
Always working on something.
Not sure when they'll be out, but once we have the Raider, then we'll be able to accurately put that in a spot. Then we should be good to go.
What's your take on the Ultiworlds shot of the year? I absolutely believe that our own Seppo Paju got absolutely robbed, and I don't want to, take away anything away from AJ Carey, but I believe that they might have used some kind of proxy voting or some sort of tampering about the voting. What's your take on that? I want you to keep it real. Thanks.
Say what? I hadn't heard about that.
I know what he's talking about. So the way that they determined shot of the year this year was they had ace of the year, roller of the year, air shot of the year, and one other. I don't remember what it was. Putt of the year. Something. I'm not sure. But then they just kind of put those in a bracket and people voted for each one. And it ended up that AJ Carey, who aced hole 1 at the USDGC, his first hole of the entire tournament, ended up winning shot of the year. And I don't know AJ well at all. I've only seen him around. I've never met him. But from what I understand, he would not be the type to do any voting proxy or proxy voting or anything like that. I think it's just that people saw that it was an ace and that's cool, and so they're like, man, that's cool. He aced the very first hole of a really iconic tournament like the USDGC. That deserves to win. I've never played the course at Delaware that Seppo threw that shot on, but from what I understand, that is one of the craziest shots that you could really imagine throwing. And so I voted for Seppo, nothing against AJ, of course, but I've thrown the same sort of shot that AJ threw. I hit the lock on the fly on hole 1 on USDGC this year. Mind you, it was off a little bush deflection. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, I think Seppo's shot is just incredible to even be that close to that par 5 and 2 going through the woods and having to throw as hard as he did. That, in my opinion, was the shot of the year. Johnny McRae's 60-foot turbo as well. Super sick. And Katrina's roller. Incredible shots. If I had to pick, I probably would have picked Seppo's. Are you looking at... Bobby's doing some law work here. He's typing, am I liable if I hit a car?
Well, because there's a lot of debate on the YouTube that we're going. But, okay, so that's all the time we have for the audio portion of our podcast.
What did we get to on questions?
What did we get to? We only got to 58.
Oh, I tried my best, guys.
I know, we tried our best, but no go. So thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, February 1st is when the United States Amateur Match Play Championships, we start accepting applications for TD. So if you want to run a bracket, and we highly recommend that you want to run a bracket, make sure you check that out, discgolfmatchplay.com. What else we got going on?
Raiders coming in soon. As soon as we have it, you'll see some videos from us. We're super excited about this disc. I think it's going to be our distance driver forever.
Raider.
The Raider. Super quick story about Malachi, since Benjamin reminded me of that. I wrote this on Bobby's Facebook page, but if you're not friends with either of us, you probably didn't see it.
And you're a nerd.
That's true. I was playing Call of Duty the other day, and there was a person on the other team who had Malachi in their name. And after the game, it was a free-for-all, so after the game, everybody was kind of in the lobby chatting or whatever. And one of the guys said, man, that guy on the other team, he was really good, that Malachi guy. And the guy who it was, he was like, hey, man, thanks. It's pronounced Malachi. And he was like, oh, man, my bad. And I was rolling in my chair because this dude just said Malachi.
And they didn't hear you laughing.
No. I unplugged my mic to laugh at them. So, anyway.
That's all hilarious.
Thank you.
So anyway, thanks again for tuning in, guys, and we will see you next week.
Next Tuesday.
Hey, Cool Daddy Slick Breeze, Eric Sweetness McCabe.
You suck, dude.
I had to get that
It's been the loudest possible noise the last 2 times.
People are gonna hate me.
Keep the freaking volume up, man. Keep it
All
up.
right. All right, YouTubes, get your questions in real quick, and we'll answer a few YouTube questions before we sign off completely.
Yeah. Let's get after some YouTube questions. What do we got going on this weekend, Bobby? What are we doing?
What is this? This weekend, I am going to.
Oh, you're going to the.
Well, first, I'm going to drive to Barnesville, and Saturday morning, I'm going to watch Eli play some basketball. Then I'm going to go get me some sushi at Yokozuna. And then I'm going to go to a father-daughter dance, but I'm taking my granddaughter.
Nice.
Because she doesn't have, we won't get into this complicated, but I'm taking her to father-daughter dance. And apparently she is super excited. In fact, her and her mom were out shopping, and she FaceTimed me. And so my granddaughter, who is 6 years old, was FaceTiming me. And she had her phone in her hand, and this is what I saw, her walking like this. So I saw face, chin, as she's talking to me about getting her dressed for the dance.
Fair.
So cool.
Travis says, who's on the next Dynamic Duel? Love those. Travis, can I spoil this?
Yeah, we talked about it in the update, I think.
So if you haven't heard about it already, we are going to shoot a Dynamic Duel in Arizona at the courses that are going to be used for the memorial. And the people participating in that Dynamic Duel will be Paige Pierce, Paige Bjerkes, AJ Risley, and Zach Melton. That's going to be our next Dynamic Duel. I think the teams are predetermined, but I don't really want to spoil what those are going to be. So if you're going to be in the area, check in with us closer to the time of the event, and we'll let you know when we're going to be there. If you want to come out and spectate and hang out, we would love to see that. If you want to heckle Zach, that's even better. If you want to cheer on AJ as he runs down every putt and gets inordinately excited for making 20-footers, you can do that too. So just come check it out.
Someone asked what the discs are for the Disc Golf Match Play. Right at the site, discgolfmatchplay.com, under the TD info, it says, what comes in the TD package? A Dynamic Discs Lucid X Escape, obviously 16 of those, 16 Latitude 64 Retro Keystones, trophy for first place, and trophy junior disc for second place, and a trophy mini for third place. And actually, there's going to be some other things that, in order to help you raise funds for your bracket, we're going to get Latitude 64 Moonshine Keystones. You'll have the chance to purchase that, so you can sell those and raise some funds for your bracket. So
I think those are going to be great throwers as well. Wildburn says, any chance you guys are going to do some overmold discs for DD like the Gobi, Bryce, etc.? Wildburn, we've talked about it. I'm not exactly sure where we're at on that right now. I don't think we're pursuing it as of right this second, but that doesn't mean it's not something that we might pursue in the future.
Someone asked about the Scout Basket. We are super close. In fact, it was mentioned at this morning's little general employee meeting we had, and he promises, the guy, Chris, who's our product manager, product manager.
Yep, that's right.
He promises we are so super close. We should have that pretty soon, and things are looking really, really good. Another one real quick that I've seen, will DD have something similar to, or do you, to the Discraft Underground? Now, I don't know exactly how the Underground, I haven't really looked into it, but we do have something called Team Trilogy. You don't have to pay to be on it. Now, there are a few requirements as far as being a current PDJ member. Obviously, you have to throw all of our plastics from DD, Westside, and Latitude 64. I know you have to do a in the bag showing what discs you have. You have to use a bag. Is it still a stipulation? Use a bag from one of the companies?
Just not from a different manufacturer. Okay, so you could use a grit bag or something.
And that gives you a chance to kind of represent, if you have a love for our plastic and you want to show it off, you can do that. It's also kind of part of a discount program where you get discounts on certain products. And we told people about this, right? The early.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
So if you are a member of Team Trilogy, current standing member of Team Trilogy, you're going to get early access to the Raider. You'll get up to I won't say the exacts because I don't know that if that's been released, but I do know you'll get early access to the Raider, and you have to be on Team Trilogy. So you don't have to pay to be on there. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, you have to buy our products to be on the team, but you don't have to,
or trade for them, or however.
Right,
you just have to carry.
Yeah, there's no fee for it.
Right,
but you definitely get some benefits and some discounts.
It's certainly different than the Discraft Underground in that Underground is an application process. It's part of a sponsored team. For Team Trilogy, you do have to apply, but if you complete the stipulations that we set out for you, then you're good to go. You can be on the team, and you get early access to the Raider, and then we're going to be doing some more really cool stuff like that throughout the year as much as we can. Just to thank you guys for throwing our plastic and keeping up with us. Yeah.
You got Danny's question.
Danny,
does cold weather stiffening up the plastic make the disc more overstable?
I think, man, that's a really hard one. For me, I feel like everything flies more overstable in cold, but it's because I'm cold, and so I'm probably not throwing it quite as hard as I do in warm weather. I don't know about the science of that, to tell you the truth. Jagar Garcia says, when does Kansas warm up? Apparently never. It kind of hurts my feelings that it is still quite cold here. Marty says, is anyone coming with Page B to the Albuquerque putting clinic? I believe.
Whoa, sorry.
Hey, did you take a screenshot of something?
Maybe I did.
Marty, I'm pretty sure that Paige and Grady Shue are touring together, so I'm sure that they will be at that place together. But I don't know if anybody else is going to come here from there.
Where were you at?
I just read Marty Smith.
Did Dave really leave because he didn't want a bias for the next? You'll have to ask Dave Felberg that question.
Yeah, when it comes to players and sponsors and stuff like that, really their reasons for leaving or staying, or if they were kicked off or whatever, that's really between the player and the manufacturer. If you want the story, you really just need to ask the player. It's not really our place to tell on either side.
We're too close to things that go on to speculate and talk about that. So there's plenty of Facebook groups that like to speculate and talk about it.
Lots of speculation.
You can go out there and try it out. I'm the co-founder of Ace Run Productions on YouTube. Who can I contact about possibly getting some optic to do reviews on? You'll probably have to find people that sell optics.
What?
I'm assuming he's talking about Opto, maybe. Actually, you can email me, Felix Bobby, Bobby, at dynamicdisc.com, and give me some information on your YouTube channel, and maybe we can send you some stuff to review.
Sweet.
Neil says you guys are great. Yes, Neil, I would have to agree. Thanks.
Thank you, Neil. Nico versus EMAC rematch. We have not set that up. I'm sure they'd both be willing to do it.
Yeah.
Because that was the first dynamic duel ever. That was pretty cool. Bjorkus versus Pierce. Yes, that is happening along with AJ Risley and Zach Melton in Arizona. Tony says, Robert suggests some reading to get better at disc golf. Tony, my two favorite golf mental game books are Fearless Golf, that's by Dr. Gio Valiante, and Golf is Not a Game of Perfect by Dr. Bob Rotella. I think that far too few disc golfers take advantage of the wealth of mental game work that's been done by golf coaches. They dove into the mental side so long ago and have emphasized the importance of it year over year over year. And you can tell there are a lot of very talented golfers out there, and there are a lot of very talented disc golfers out there who can throw 500 feet plus and make everything inside 40 if they want to. But can they do it when it matters is what it comes down to. So strengthening your mental game, that for me was the thing that helped me to jump from, I think I was around 980 when I started reading those mental game books. And I still will review them once every 6 months, once every 9 months, something like that, just to kind of keep the principles fresh so that I can stay mentally strong. And then the more that you practice the things in those books, the better off you're going to be. So check it out, man. Waffle commentary on that dynamic duel. I don't know just yet. That'd be AJ doing commentary on that. I don't know just yet. I would like to have him on there. It'd be hilarious because he's such a goofball.
Am I too far down?
Yeah, you are. TJ says, I hope Melton gets more commentator work. Melton is one of my favorite people. I think he would be hilarious doing some commentary. Wow, there are a lot of questions.
Yeah, there is. There you are. There you are. Does Zach Melton tour alone, and does he have a traveling partner? I'm not sure.
He has people with him on and off.
It's going to be Bjorkus, Melton. Okay, Zach is a man. Tony Z. How much money do you think one would have to save up to go on tour for 1 year? Ooh, that's a wow.
Yeah, that's a really tough question.
That's a tough question because it depends on if you have people to stay with.
Yep. Are your entry fees paid? Are you traveling with somebody?
How many tournaments are you going to play?
Mm-hmm. If you were going to go just exclusively live on the road and you didn't have your entries paid by a sponsor, I think minimum you're looking at 15 to 20 grand. And that's staying cheaply and traveling cheaply. But if you have people to split that with, you could get by on less than that. Tim asks, what's the best way to overwrite muscle memory of bad form? Fieldwork, drills, or a combination? I think fieldwork is probably the best way to do it by videoing yourself and then working on one thing at a time. I know Danny talks about that a lot. instead of going out to the field and saying, I'm going to completely rework my form, focus on one thing and work on that and work on that and work on that until it's kind of more like second nature. Once you've got that, you can move on to something else.
Do you think there will be any new names popping up on the tournaments this year? Who would that be? I bet you're going to see. Of course, the name Kevin Jones has already come up, but I think you'll see a lot more of him. Really pushing for Grady Shue to see hit, be in some top 10s out there.
Mm-hmm. I think we'll see some Emerson Keith up in some more top 10s this year. He's been playing really well this year.
For sure.
And then our players aren't really new right now, but I'm looking for a big year out of. Just all of our touring players. I could go through and name them, but I think they're all poised to play really well. So I'm excited to see that. And then I think we'll probably have a few younger players who are going out on tour for their first time who are going to make, kind of a splash and get their name out there.
When will we know the dates for the U.S. Am Match Play local events? So March 14th is the last day that you'll be able to apply for it. We go to the website and we see when local qualifying brackets are from March through April of 2019. State province brackets is May, and of course the championships will be June 20th through 23rd.
Joseph asks about disc selection. How do you decide when to throw a distance driver versus a fairway driver? I've seen both distance and fairways thrown at 400 and 450 footers. The wind plays a big factor in that. If it's really windy, most of the time I'm not throwing a fairway driver for something like that. But also I think the line that's available to you. If I need something to go really, really straight for a long time, I'm probably reaching for a fairway driver. But if I need more lateral movement, I'm probably reaching for a distance driver.
Steve, 43-year-old and just started playing disc golf and love again. Any disc recommendations for an old slow arm? I can probably give you some of my recommendations because I'm a 47-year-old who's an old slow arm. I throw a Maverick. I bet you would love a Maverick. I throw the Trespass. If you just started playing Trespass, might be on the a little too fast side for you. You can kind of work up to that, but I would definitely grab something in the fairway like a Maverick or an Escape or something like that to get you started. As far as a driver, I wouldn't say they're going to be a super distance driver, but they won't make you mad because they won't go super left the whole time if you're just starting out and you have a slow arm.
Sam says, Robert, mostly looking for a replacement for an end of a dart. I find that Marshall and Warden have a little more glide than I would like. I don't think we have a putter that has a whole lot less glide than the Marshall unless you're looking at like the Slammer, and that's definitely not like a dart. So I think your Warden is probably going to be the closest thing for you. I think. I haven't thrown a dart in years and years and years, though.
I'm skipping down to Doc. He says, what's the Scout basket? It's going to be our super travel portable basket, one that you can fold up and take with you to the beach or anywhere else.
Bentley says, I don't play disc golf enough to beat in discs a lot, and I have a bag of 18 different discs and have different molds for each shot with the exception of my two putters, and upshots are the same. How do I limit my molds? I don't think limiting your molds is the most important thing in the entire world. I do think learning your discs really well is extremely important. So it's not worth taking a disc out of your bag if it works for you just to put a duplicate of another disc in the bag. But it's really about making sure that whatever discs you have in there, you know exactly what they're going to do so that you're not surprised in competition. Brandon says, when I attempt to throw a longer putt, or when I attempt a longer putt, I seem to throw it with a big hyzer unintentionally. When I try to put more power on the putt, what could be causing this? This is a common problem when people are trying to put more power is that they lose some of their form. And a lot of times when you do, you're trying to push your arm out, and I think sometimes your shoulder and your elbow get a little bit farther out in front of you, and the only way that the disc can come out at that point is on hyzer. So really you want to make sure that your power is coming more from your legs rather than your arm, and your arm is just a natural extension of the direction you're trying to go. So work on having your legs be more of your power rather than trying to throw it a lot harder than with your arm.
So HK says, are there any plans for a bag around $120 that is more
non-disc
storage? The Commander isn't the best design. It isn't very popular. I have to say the Commander bag actually is very popular. We actually sell those really well.
Yeah.
Those people like those.
Can we get that link for Team Trilogy?
No. Yes. Yes.
Go to teamtrilogy.org, I'm pretty sure.
Teamtrilogy.org
is the website for that. Let's see. Any word on when the 2019 GBO Country Club layout will be released / playable? Logan, thanks for writing in. The layout is pretty close right now. And if it's in the ground like I think it is, then you can go pretty much any day of the week except for Mondays. You need to go to the Country Club website and see when they're open for disc golf, or you can just call the Country Club because they've got specific hours that they allow us to play disc golf in.
Any comments on the Las Vegas Challenge charge for filming in the mine? My comment is it's a bit premature to charge that much in disc golf, and we have snow coming down.
Right now?
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, we talked about this a little bit when we were planning on going to the event, right? And I think there's merit to having outside companies have to pay some to come and film your event, right? Because you put a lot of work into the event, and there's to get the players there, to get the courses looking good. That's all good. The amount, I think, yeah, I'm with Bobby. I think it's a bit much, but that's here's the click on the keep it real sign and the disclaimer sign. Those are mine and Bobby's opinions.
These are our opinions, and I will tell you that as the media director for Glass Blown Open, we're going to take a stance of we still want disc golf to grow, and in order to grow, we know we need more media out there. We need more YouTube content. We need more Instagram content, more Snapchat content, more Twitter, more Facebook content, because we want to get this sport in front of as many eyes as possible. And in order to do that, we don't want to prohibit people by costing them too much.
Yeah, we want to see more media.
So we're going to make it to where we can actually have more media out here, because we feel it's very important for disc golf to get out there.
Yeah, regardless of the source of that media.
Correct.
If disc golf grows, it's good for everybody. So that's what we will be doing for the GBO.
Are there more disc golf adventures behind the scenes videos coming? Absolutely, Bennett. I've been starting to get itchy for getting out there and creating some disc golf adventure videos. We've already made plans. We're going to head out to the Memorial. We're taking me, Danny, Anthony, and Brian are going to take an RV out there, and we're going to be creating some disc golf adventure videos. And then once we hit the ground running in Arizona, we're going to be creating some in the mines, some practice videos, some in the bags. Yeah, it's going to be super busy and super awesome to have some really cool videos coming out once that season kicks in and we head out there.
Russ Studio says, when will the new bag colors come out? I want to join Team Trilogy, but I need a DD bag and I want a cool Ranger. Rusco said something about that in y'all's last update, right? That we were working on some new Ranger colors.
I don't know.
I don't remember when the date is for that. But I promise as soon as we have them, we'll be excited to share them. Because, yeah, we've had some of the same ones for a little while now.
Robert, Bobby, will you be coming out to PA for Amworlds? I don't think we're going to Amworlds, are we?
I don't think we're making that trip
Pro
this year.
Worlds.
We will be at Pro Worlds this year in Illinois.
Yeah. Illinois.
For sure. Two Keen says Keystone equals Buzz. Negative on that. The Keystone is a putter. The Gatekeeper is a mid-range. I think it's in the same speed range as the Buzz. It is probably a little bit more overstable than the Buzz.
Bobby should vlog the rating progress training. I probably will do some vlogging on my own channel, my Uncle Bobby Jr. on YouTube, when I play a sanctioned event to kind of, I won't like do the whole entire round, but just kind of let you guys know how it's going as far as my rating update. That would be fun to do.
I'm almost caught up here. Well, no, I'm still scrolling back up. And I
think a lot of it's just kind of chitter chatter.
Long ways to go.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, here I've finally caught back up. To where I was a second ago. Looking for a good DD driver for my wife, something similar to the flight of a Beat EMAC, but a distance driver. Just got out of the Maverick. Just need something that will go further. You might look into the Vandal from Dynamic Discs. That's
I'm
going to be
excited about the Vandal.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's kind of like a longer Maverick, actually. That's going to be our Trilogy Challenge offering from Dynamic Discs this year.
Okay.
You struggling over there?
Apparently, I can't.
Marty says, Bobby, how's Sebastian?
Sebastian is awesome.
Yeah.
He's a good boy.
Yeah, Sebastian and Walter hang out probably 3 or 4 times a week, and it's awesome.
Sebastian can be kind of I wouldn't say he's a bully, but he can be a little rambunctious at times.
Yeah, he gets after it.
But they have a good time, for sure. Let's see if we can check in on,
We'll see Bass Man.
I can't. I don't know the password.
All right, I'm scrolling through. Let's see. Will you be doing the Skip Ace League again this year?
Yes.
Fantasy Disc Golf. Sweet. Is there a forehand putter you guys recommend? Does not matter the company. Landon, I really like the Slammer for something like that, but I've also seen the Harp be thrown really well by some of our players. I know Zach Melton really likes throwing the Harp right now, so that'd be a good one to check out.
Okay, we can't see. I have a camera in my living room, and we can't see him. Sometimes he likes to go upstairs and take a nap on the bed.
Vinny says most overstable mid-range. Vinny, that one's easy. The Justice is stupid overstable. Very, 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 very overstable. Someone is asking about putting, and Danny said, Brandon, have you tried groaning as you putt? So,
like a one guy, yeah.
Roll it back.
Roll it back.
Any chance we will see any in the bags before Las Vegas?
No.
Probably not. We don't have a lot of those players here with us. So, yeah. And I'm almost done.
Yeah, I think we're good. Why isn't there more Did you already do that?
What?
Oh.
Go ahead.
Why are there no more product sponsors? Example, Nike sponsoring Pays. I get we are not very mainstream, but still, how much would it cost to get them in now while the sport is growing fast? So that's the thing, Chris, is we have to think as far as relativity or I've gone off this. I've talked about this before. So when we watch a YouTube video and we see a video getting 60,000 views, 70,000 views, someone like Nike says, "Oh, that's cute."
Well, yeah, we're stoked for that.
Yeah, we're like, "Whoa!"
Or like a couple 100,000 views. Like, we've got a couple of Jomez videos that are out there.
But like Nike wants to see when you have like in the millions of views. I mean, that's you know what I'm saying. You know, there's such a gap between where we're at in sports like golf and tennis and even skateboarding. Now, skateboarding at one time, I remember I was watching a Casey Neistat video and Tony Hawk was on there. And Tony Hawk talked about the early days when the guys would sleep on couches and, they barely had any money to do what they wanted to do. They just loved skating. And, now you got Tony Hawk and I'm sure there's a few other skaters out there that make a really good living.
Oh, definitely.
We're just not mainstream enough, and it's just not there. And we're not going to go to Nike and say, okay, Nike, we'll pay you $300,000. That's just not how it works. Nike's going to sponsor a particular player. But when you get that big, it's all about the numbers. How many
eyeballs are you getting on your players?
Exactly.
Yeah, how much more product are we going to sell if we give free product to somebody? So, yeah.
Someone says get Tony Hawk to endorse disc golf. I could have swore one time he said he played it.
I think so.
That he played disc golf.
I want to say maybe Eric we were talking about this last week on the podcast or something, but somebody saw Tony Hawk in the airport and they're like, "Hey man, you kind of look like Tony Hawk. Wonder what that guy's doing these days." This.
So
that is me.
All right, we're dwindling down.
Yeah.
And we're losing viewers, so we're boring.
Oh,
apparently.
man, super boring.
Oh, man.
But, hey, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. This has been an awesome show, up over 200 concurrent viewers at one point. Thanks so much for tuning in. Obviously, if you're here, you've probably already subscribed to the channel, but if you haven't, go ahead and subscribe and ring that bell so that you can get notified every time there's new content from Dynamic Discs. We are stoked to bring you new content as often as we can, so check that out. Subscribe to us, and we want to keeping it real for you guys. We will depart on this note.
Oh, I don't like that one. This one. No, not that one. Nope, not that one. Not that one. It's this one. Yeah, that one's a chill.
This one really is good. Imagine a drone flying over a disc golf tournament while this is playing.
And it went really fast there.
Yeah.
And it's just flying. And then we go right to the next scene, right when the beat hits it. Right when the beat hits.
You got Chris Goodrich up in here getting admin rights. I don't know how I feel about that. Anyone on Team Judge is not allowed to be having a wrench.
How did Chris Goodrich get admin rights?
I think Danny gave it.
Danny, you're a loose cannon. Danny.
I guess it's more moderator rights. That's right. So, all right, whatever, Chris. That's fine. You're okay this time. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you.